When it's time to choose your Medicare supplement plan, it's important to get the right one. And for most people, it's complicated and confusing because you just haven't had to make these kind of choices before. And we want to absolutely make sure that we get it right. So I'm going to go through that right now. I'm Keith Armbrecht, founder of Medicare on Video. I help people across the country make the right Medicare choices. There's absolutely no cost for our service. If you would like to allow us to help you, then that's what we do every day. You simply fill out the form on my website and we will walk you through each piece of Medicare. But right now we're going to talk about choosing a Medicare supplement plan and things to consider when you're doing that. And we're going to talk specifically about Medicare Supplement Plan G. Now, the first thing to understand right off the bat, it's not a Medicare Advantage plan. A lot of people confuse Medigap, Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage. It can be complicated. So Medicare Supplement and Medigap, same thing. They are what you get when you stay with Original Medicare, Part A and Part B, which I always recommend, and they cover the stuff that A and B do not. Medicare Advantage is a whole different scenario where it takes you off of Original Medicare, puts you into a private insurance carrier's plan, and it's a managed care plan. So completely different than staying with Original Medicare. But we're going to talk about Original Medicare with that supplement and Plan G, and really why I would never choose Medicare Supplement Plan G, and I'll tell you exactly why that is. Most of the time, it really comes down to value. Is it a value when you're purchasing that Plan G Medicare Supplement plan? Sometimes, a lot of times, it's not the best value. So financially, it doesn't always make the most sense. But that being said, buying a BMW doesn't make the most financial sense, but plenty of people buy a BMW. So it really figures into how you feel about what you want to do in the future. But from a financial standpoint, a lot of times the premium difference between Plan G and other plans, it doesn't line up from a value standpoint. I'll go through that a little bit deeper as well. So Plan G really is the best coverage option. So if you want the Cadillac, the best coverage, then Plan G is going to be the one that you're going to want, regardless of whether it's the best value. And some people want to have that. They want to have all their T's crossed and their I's dotted and everything all buttoned up and easy. You know, it's certainly easy. Plan G covers pretty much 100% of everything with the exception of the Part B deductible. So the Part B deductible is the only thing that Plan G doesn't cover. Right now, that Part B deductible is $240. That's an annual deductible. So from January to January, once you have spent $240 and you have Medicare Part A, Part B, and Supplement Plan G, that's all you'll pay. $240 out of pocket for the entire year for your medical expenses. That's crazy low from health insurance standpoint. So you can see it's a very attractive option to have. And again, it's just if the premium makes sense. And to me, we want to find the best value. Most people going into retirement, into Medicare, premium matters and the cost matters. And we want to do everything we can to manage our expenses as we are into retirement. So Plan G, it can work out really well from an out-of-pocket standpoint, but if the premium is a little bit higher than it should be, then we might want to look at other options like Plan N or even Plan GHD. Another reason that I would not choose Plan G is dependent upon where I live. There are a number of states that offer what's called year-round open enrollment, meaning you can change your plan anytime you want without any medical questions. So if that's the case, and specifically I'm talking about New York, Connecticut, even Washington State has similar situation where you can change a Medigap plan anytime without medical questions. If that's the case, you don't necessarily want to buy the Cadillac if you're in good health. You can buy the Volkswagen if you're in good health, and then if you become unhealthy, if something comes along, you can then upgrade to the Cadillac without any medical questions. So it's easy to do. So you don't want to start out with the high premium plan, go with the low premium plan, and then you can change it if you need to do it for better coverage. And then back to the premium cost of Plan G. So the other option really, when you're coming into Medicare in most situations, most states, are either Plan G or Plan N. And I have a video specific to that, this one right here. You can take a look at the difference between G and N and how the benefits work. I'll put the link below in the description. And it comes down to the cost, for me anyway. When I would choose to go with Plan N over Plan G is if Plan N is greater than $25 less than Plan G. So that's $300 a year in premium. There isn't a whole lot of difference in out-of-pocket expense with Plan N. And again, watch the video on the difference in the benefits, and you'll see where it can make financial sense, value, to choose Plan N if that premium is greater than $25 less than Plan G. So if Plan G is $130 a month and Plan N is $102 a month, I'm going to choose Plan N just because it makes more financial sense. I'll save $300 a year in premium. Even if I use it more often and have a little bit more out-of-pocket expense, I'm probably not going to hit that $300 threshold that I'm saving in premium by choosing Plan N over Plan G. One other reason maybe not to get a Plan G, there are a couple of states that don't offer Plan G. They have their own kind of Medicare supplement formula that they've put together, which is kind of crazy because it's actually pretty good the way everybody else has it. But Wisconsin and Minnesota do their own thing. They make you kind of put your own plan together and then piece all the pieces together. It really doesn't make any sense. We're good at doing that. We can get it exactly where we want it, where I can almost promise you, you won't be able to figure it out on your own without a lot of research. So give us a call, fill out the form on my website. We'll walk you through. If you're in Wisconsin or Minnesota, we'll get you close to a Plan N or close to a Plan G and figure out the value standpoint in that aspect as well. So it's just a little more complicated in a couple of states. And again, why they choose to do it on their own, where everybody else has it standardized, easy to understand, makes it a little more simple. But that's just the way it is. So those are reasons that I wouldn't choose Plan G. Obviously, we would all want Plan G if we can have it because it's only $240 out of pocket for the entire year. But we have to understand the other pieces to it so that we make it valuable to make that right decision. So hope you found this helpful, and do make sure you watch this video right here, the one on the top, the real cost of Medicare. It'll go through all the different pieces of Medicare and what the actual out-of-pocket expense is to you. Very important to understand that as you go forward. I hope you found all this helpful. Feel free to give us a call. We're glad to help. Have a fantastic day.